Hey everybody, it's Peter from Detector Smile. Today I'm going to show you how to set up the XP Deus 2 HF2 Coil. I'm super excited. Stay tuned. Let's open the box and see what's here. I've been waiting a long time and it finally came. So alright, so in the box you get an instruction manual or paper. You get a little bag of goodies. There's an important part right here I'm going to show you. This piece right here is very important. Get your charging cable. Get your shaft, and the battery right in the end there just pops right out. And we'll get that assembled here. And then the coil. I mean, look at that thing. That thing is awesome looking. And I mean, there's my hand, so it's not too shabby in size. I am excited about this. This should be able to get into tight places, and it should have good coverage with the elliptical design. So it does have a skid plate or a coral cover, and it can pop on and off. So this protects your coil so that it doesn't get damaged underneath. So alright, and then here is the little cable that we'll hook up here in a few minutes. Alright, so the first step is to attach the lower control arm. I think that's what they call this, or shaft. We're gonna attach that to the coil, and to do that, here's the different XPs. Very nice because they give you spare parts. So let's get all. So there's your spare parts, and here's your parts you're going to use. And like I said, I think it's awesome XP gives you these different spare parts. So the first step is we're going to put this little rubber grommet here, and then we can set that down. And then on the coil, we are looking for, there's two little lines here. That's where this bolt is going to go through. So you need to put the bolt where these little two lines are. Okay, so let's put this in here. And sometimes you have to, I mean, it's going to be a little bit tight, but it will push in. And you have to make sure that this opening, if you can see this opening is open. See my finger going in it? You need to make sure it's on the back side. So, and hopefully I don't spill my coffee. So let's push this down, and we'll put our bolt through. And you can see that that bolt now can't move because those two little raised areas there keep that bolt in place. Alright, so now on this side, we're going to put this little doodad on, and it just snaps in there like so. And you can turn it around, but you need to get it down in these little grooves. Let's see, let me make sure you can see that. Down in those little grooves. So we're going to push this guy on, and then we're going to put the nut on the end, and we're going to hold all this in place. We're going to make sure we get that in there, and then we're going to push this in, and you'll feel it get tight. And it just you keep cranking it in, and it'll go in, and then you can feel, now there's a little bit of tension here. So if I loosen this up, now my shaft can move back and forth very easy. So let's tighten that up a little bit so it's a little more stiff. All right, now we are going to push this forward. Okay, so important thing before you start this, take the battery out of the end of the shaft. So as you can see, this was in the shaft at the top, and I simply pulled it right out. Now, remember this little hole here I told you about? I can put my finger in there, see? Now we're going to feed this cable up through the shaft. And you want to make sure that you have it flush here. And now we're going, and you can see the end, and you're like, well, it didn't come out. Well, once I push this down, and just push this down. Now, look, right here at the top is my little connector that I'm going to use on my battery. Okay, so now we have the battery, we have the connector through to the shaft. We can have our little tab that we can hold on to, and we have the battery. Now this is the most important thing. One of the most important things. This is silicone grease. That needs to go in here, and it also needs to go in this little connector. Now what this does, let me grab this silicone grease, it seals. It helps protect these gold connectors from getting corroded, and gold does corrode. So we want to have a very good connection here between the connector that's in the shaft and the connector that's on the battery, because this is where we're going to charge here in the future. So again, make sure you have this silicone grease, and if you do not have it, reach out to XP and they will get you some of it. You want to make sure you have this on so you have a nice watertight and dirt-free seal. Alright, so something that I'm going to do, and I've done this in the past, so I use a little Q-tip, and I'm going to put some of this grease on the end of the Q-tip. Probably like a pea size. Not an excessive amount, but I'm just going to dab this in here and get this down in the little crevices, and just to get it all dabbed up good with grease. Now I'm going to do the same. I'm going to flip this. Going to get another little pea size. There we go. And I'm going to take the end of this, and I'm going to hold it now, and I'm going to dab it with some grease. So this is going to make sure that we have a good connection. So I'm going to stick the battery, and this is going to be hard to videotape, but I'm going to stick the battery in here. Let me make sure I got it. I got the battery in here. And now, right at the last bit, I'm going to push that connector on. And you should feel it push down on and connect. And you make sure you check. Okay, folks, a special note on that connector. When you push the connector to the battery, there is no click. It just simply pushes together, and then you slide the battery in. Again, there is no click. Okay, so after you got it all pushed in, then you're just going to push it back in. And you're going to push it back in so it's nice and tight. And then it'll stay there. That silicone grease will make sure that that connection is secure and watertight. And it'll help very much with the dirt. As we know, we metal detect, so we are in the dirt. And I wanted to tell you to remember, you're not going to need all this grease, so don't think you need to use all of it. Like I said, just a little bit on the end of a Q-tip pea size and you'll be okay. So you can keep this because XP gives you a good bit of amount in this tube, but you can, you know, clean it up later and reapply if need be. Okay, and the last step is let's charge this coil up. And as you can see, XP created a little light here that shows you that you are charging, and this just simply slides off and right on, so it will not fall off if you move it around, and it slides on very easily. I'm super excited to try this coil out. Thank you for watching this video of how to assemble and put together the Deus 2 HF coil. Thank you, XP. I'm ready to take it out and start finding some good treasures. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed that little demo of setting up the HF2 coil. I'm super excited to get outside and try her out. Thanks for watching. If you could, please like, subscribe, and share. Subscribing to the channel doesn't cost anything, and I love making these videos for everybody. So, alright, see you on the next great adventure.